Good evening. Well, good morning. I know it's late, but I've had a very, very long day. Had some things to do outside of my home, and I had to cook. And tomorrow or later on today, I had I might have a full day. Might not. Not sure. So this morning, earlier yesterday morning, when I woke up, I had seen that the Reverend Jesse Jackson had passed away. And I knew that Mr. Jackson was sick. And as soon as I seen that Mr. Jackson had passed, I had to call. My family knew, they get up earlier than me. And I kind of just got a real, nostalgic thinking about I grew up in the neighborhood that Mr. Jackson lived in with his family, his children, Sunita, Yusef, Jesse Jr., Jonathan. And I remember the second time that he ran for president. And I remember our neighborhood was so inundated with Secret Service. Cause when you're running for president, even though if you don't win, they still give you Secret Service for the time that, you're running. And I remember you couldn't like you could go into the block, but when you got to a certain spot, man, it was motherfuckers barricades and people in like old school like suburbans and shit. And I didn't know then, because you didn't know, that when you live in such close proximity to someone who's running for president, like damn near the whole 2, 3 block, 4 block radius, they have done a background check on everybody. But it was really cool. Mr. Jackson was a very, very nice man. Miss Jackson, wonderful. Just the whole family, just a really, really nice family. And I feel extremely honored to um, have even known him. A lot of people can't even say they knew him. And to know him and his family during the time that he was running for president was just like really it was really cool. But you really didn't understand the magnitude when you were younger, how impactful, that time was. But I've been sad all day. I lost someone else last week. Um, and now Chicago has lost. The world has lost. His family has lost a very great and very poignant man. Um, may he rest with God. And I'm sure he is. I see a lot of people saying a lot of extremely off putting things about him. Number one, this is speculation. You don't know. You don't. You ain't read an FBI file, none of that shit. We don't know. So the best thing to do is take a person for who they are, what they've displayed, and their good qualities. Because I promise you, a lot of times, sometimes, I'm not going to say a lot of times, but sometimes a person's good qualities far outweigh their bad qualities. Okay? Last time I checked, wait a minute. My heart is beating. I'm human. You're human. We're all human. And to be human is to make mistakes. And I feel like Mr. Jackson did far more good and than anything I know. So I'm just, I'm just in a mood. I feel sad, you know. This is someone that my parents knew. This my parents knew Miss Jackson and Mr. Jackson. We knew their family. This wasn't like no fly by night thing. My parents had a really great restaurant. He would be in there. The mayor would be in there. So my parents knew these people, and they were always very kind. And Mr. Jackson was just always a man's man. I'm I just know that from what I'm gathering, he went quietly, gracefully, with his family surrounding him. And so many people don't get that when it's their end of time. I know people will be like, well, what does it mean? What does that mean? He went out classy. He went out how people would like to go out, you know. But I'm praying for his whole family, you know. I'm just like, damn. And you know what's crazy? I was supposed to, I think in January, I think it was January, I was supposed to go to a Operation Push brunch here in Chicago because a good girlfriend of mine invited me because Don Lemon was going to be speaking. And I love her for inviting me. But I promise you, I think she told me I had to be there like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, I love Don Lemon. But I promise you, only time I get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, a doctor's appointment, a flight, or to drop Maddie off since she's really close, so I can go and come back home and get in my bed. I hate that I missed that opportunity, but there'll be other opportunities. Things like that pop up. But yeah, I was just like, wow. And the neighborhood that I grew up in Chicago is called South Shore. And back in the days, South Shore was where Black people um, wanted to be. It was kind of bougie. It had its areas that weren't, but our area was. So that's just what it was. And it was a lot of great people who lived in our neighborhood. The Jacksons lived over there. Ramsey Lewis, his family lived over there. Ramsey Lewis was a jazz great. Who else lived over there? Well, Muhammad Ali didn't live far. He lived in the Kenwood area. He had a beautiful home over there. Um, his daughter Mia grew up down the street. We had a very, very decent group of people that we associated with as children, and a lot of just really solid Black people. So I'm I'm sad, but I'm happy, and I'm happy because I got the chance to be around Mr. Jackson and to meet Mr. Jackson and his wonderful family. That's basically it. I'm not going to stay on here long because I have to take my son in the morning. Well, I don't have to take him. He could drive himself, but I have some other shit to go do after he gets back from his dental cleaning. It's just been the past like you know few days have just been. Sunday was a bright spot because I got to hang out with Princess and we ate and we had a really good time. But it's been a lot going on, and all I could do right now is basically just pray for everyone I love and people who have been touched by sadness and grief in this past like 5 days. It's been a lot. It's truly been a lot. Um, but I'll probably do a live tomorrow. I just wanted to jump in real quick and say rest, rest in the arms of God. Jesse L. Jackson. And God bless his family. And God bless anyone's life he has touched. And God bless the people who don't even know he touched their lives. And on that note, I'm going to go to bed. Good night. I fucked that up with my long ass nails. Let me do it like this. Good night. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.